Hello and welcome to my channel Green Line Goddess Tarot. This is your reading. We're going to look at the nodes of fate. We're going to look at this energy of life purpose that the nodes of fate bring with them. And we're talking about the North Node and the South Node. They have just moved and changed signs. And this is an 18-month cycle. So every 18 months they do change signs. And so they've just moved, North Node has just moved from Aries into Pisces. And the South Node has just moved from Libra into Virgo. So we're moving into that axis of health and service with the Virgo Pisces axis. So there might be, the nodes represent points of fate, and they can represent, they're very closely connected to the eclipses. So we are going to be moving into eclipse season in March. And so it really is showing unexpected areas of our life which are ready to shift and change. You might start noticing a certain area of your life going through a pattern of change, and unexpectedly so. And these are karmic. This is a big karmic shake-up, a new karmic cycle. So the North Node is where our soul is saying we want to go there next. We want to learn so much. It might be this insatiable desire to consume or to experience this or to learn about this. So you may be consciously aware of it because the North Node represents the dragon's head. It's where it's connected to the head, to what it is that our logic, what it is that we're consciously aware of. And it's like, constantly want to consume it, and potentially not necessarily being satisfied. So this is why it comes along with this sense of purpose, like this is where we want to go next, and want to quell that desire to learn more about that direction, that path. And so interestingly, with it being more of a head, cognitive, logical energy of the North Node, or conscious energy, we are moving into the very deeply intuitive sign of Pisces. It's very creative. It's very much going with the flow. There could be a sense of oneness. It could be issues around boundaries and turning up and being, taking responsibility. That's something that could come through around this spiritual responsibility. And it's really where our souls are saying we want to learn more about trusting our intuition. We might want to really have a deeper sense of spiritual purpose in this area of our life. So through this desire to want that, it's like we might be making some changes, or changes might happen to you because it's got that tower-like, eclipse-like energy that repatterns and changes things. So interestingly, the South Node has moved into Virgo, and the South Node represents the dragon's tail. So it represents an area of our life, like the South Node energy is not as logical. It's where we've had to trust our intuition, or we've been through a journey that can be related to the past life, to a past soul lesson, and we've learned everything we need to know about that, and then we don't need it anymore in our lives. It's a letting go of that karma. We don't need that anymore. But it may be an area of an energy that is a lot easier for us because we've mastered it in some way. We've already learnt it. And this is where it can bring us to our gifts. There's something gifted, a beautiful gift within that energy that you've already learnt that you can learn to work with. And so it's where you're letting go of some of that, some of the karma around that past energy, that past lesson, the energy that no longer serves you anymore with that South Node. So that's why it can be associated with letting go, with loss. It can be something really big and dramatic, or could be something quite subtle. And interestingly, it is a sense of being more intuitive. But this is in Virgo, which is a Mercury-ruled sign, the South Node is now. And that's a very deeply analytical energy. So it's like the Hermit card of Tarot. It's trusting that innate wisdom of your body and listening to that intuitive energy and trusting that. Maybe putting aside some of that analytical mind and learning to trust your intuition. So in general, like both the South Node and the North Node moving into the Pisces Virgo axis is huge journey of us learning to trust our intuition more and bringing that into our lives. And so I'm going to do some beautiful readings for you for each sign. They will be time stamped, and each sign I'll look at both the astrology of what particular area of life this is going to be affecting, where you're going to start seeing these patterns of change, even dramatic change coming through. And also we're going to look at that question of purpose, like where, if it's a beautiful, deeply spiritual energy of a deepening of a sense of purpose, let's pull some cards around that. What is the soul path around that? What messages can we get around working with that energy? So that's going to be in all the readings. I also wanted to mention my beautiful course, which is starting on the 4th of February, the Goddess Codes course. It's a 3-month journey with me, and there are 8 live activations, which are a 90-minute Zoom chat facilitated by myself. And this course is about helping you step into a sense of purpose, connecting you back to your light, helping you move with the shifts of consciousness that are happening at this moment on the earth, and connect back into your true self, release a lot of the conditioning that you have brought with you or learnt in this lifetime, and be able to move forward with a sense of connected to a true, authentic self and connecting into a sense of purpose with using that true self as a navigational tool. So I have 2 offerings. I have a group offering, which will be a beautiful, powerful collective energy. So there will be a group live call, and there will be 8 of them, and it's held over 3 months. But I've also just opened up a one-on-one offering where you can go through the 3-month journey as a one-on-one with me, where you get more direct information about what's going on, and your soul will provide this information. And each session is a little bit like I'm guiding you through a guided meditation. That's the experience of it, yet there are these powerful activations that are happening at the moment. I channeled this particular course whilst I was going through, whilst the Pisces full moon last year, actually, speaking of this beautiful Piscean energy, and it was when the full moon was conjunct Neptune. So it was a wonderful energy of being able to open up my third eye, connect to the divine, connect to some beautiful mystical energy. And I connected into the Intergalactic Council of Light, and I channeled through the course. And they are the ones who are actually running the course. They're the beautiful light beings that are helping the earth shift into this new consciousness, and helping us connect back into our light, and helping us step into this sense of purpose. And it may be something you're already doing, that we're just magnifying, that we're just activating some dormant energies within, and connecting you again to your sense of your true light within. But it could be something totally different and something new that comes in for you. So it's a beautiful journey, and I'm very excited about it. Love it if you go check that out, because the next round is starting on the 4th of February. So now is the time to start booking in. The link for that is in the description box below. So check out the website. There'll be a whole heap of extra information coming out about it, what it is, and some testimonials from people who are already going through the course at the moment. And so there's a lot of information coming out about it, but please check that out in the link below, because yes, now is the time. So if it's something that you've been kind of going, oh, think about that, or that sounds interesting, yeah, the energy is going to start ramping up. I can start feeling it for that. So check that out. So let's get stuck into the readings. I wanted to start with Aries. So Aries and Aries rising. So this beautiful change of nodes is happening in your 12th and 6th houses of health and spirituality, really. So it's work, daily routines, health, and spirituality. These are some very beautiful themes where you might start seeing some shifts and changes, a pattern of changing where you need to retreat. You might need to go find a deeper sense of spiritual purpose. Maybe there's things that you're working on more behind the scenes that it could be something really creative. It could be something that you just need to be able to go with the flow with that a little bit more. It could be going deep into the world of the subconscious. Maybe you're looking at moving through some of those old subconscious patternings. And whatever it is, it feels like there's something very deep behind the scenes that you may not necessarily be showing people or talking to people about, that wants to shift and change, that wants to transcend some kind of ordinary experience. Now, the 12th house is the house that represents endings as well. It's a house of things that are hidden away. It's a house of retreat. It's a house of endings. It's a house of undoing as well. So it may be that you're learning a lot about some patterns, some deeper patterns in your life, and how you have brought about an outcome that wasn't necessarily what you wanted. And so you can go deep into repatterning that and go, okay, how can I align to my soul and spirit so that it feels like I'm on the right path? So, like I said, it feels very private behind the scenes. Some of you may be coming to terms with a loss or something that ended. There could be something around that. And this house also represents places that are kind of hidden away. So it might be things like hospitals where things are happening behind the scenes, or ashrams, sanctuaries, churches, even brothels, things like that. So there could be themes around places and spaces of things like that that are coming up as well. Maybe you're trying to work maybe it's also this sense of wanting to step out into the light a little bit more. Maybe it's like, okay, where have I kept these places hidden, and where is there a part of me that's ready to step out into the light more? With the South Node moving into your house, the 6th house of work and daily routines, it may be that you're letting go of a way that work-life balance has been working for you. Maybe you're letting go of a routine. Maybe you're letting go of a workplace or some kind of work that you're doing. Maybe there's a sense of, really with that, I get that there could be, if there's any health issues coming up, it could be a sense of surrendering, letting go, and learning to trust your intuition with the direction that you're going in. Learn to trust your body. Trust, is this the right direction for me? Is this the right person for me? Is this the right advice for me? So it's very much about trusting on a very intuitive level the messages of your body and not over-analyzing things. So I want to pull some cards around this for you, Aries. So let's look at the path that lies ahead. I'm going to pull 3 cards. So let's look at the path for Aries. Well, just when I thought I was going to pull 3 cards, they're saying no, more than that. So we have the Tower, okay, with the 2 of Cups. I want to do it a little bit like this, okay, like this, like this, like this. Okay, here are our 3 energies. So the Tower and the 2 of Cups, this could be revelatory in terms of understanding relationships. So it might be like, now I know why I've always attracted that thing into that pattern or that experience into relationships. Why has that always happened to me? Now I'm starting to really see that. And I'm also starting to see that some of those patterns are no longer fitting me. They're no longer serving me anymore. So it could definitely feel like there's something unexpected coming in around, and revelations coming in around relationships. But it also feels like it could be something that you need to go away to process. You need to have your time to go into your quiet space, retreat, to be able to process what that is for you. Now, maybe you're going through some kind of journey around relationships, but I definitely feel like there's unexpected change around relationships coming in for you, Aries. So the soul lesson we have here is the High Priestess and the 9 of Pentacles. So interestingly, I get with this, if we're talking about relationships, what we're seeing a very strong relationship energy here, is the 9 of Pentacles is where you are mastering the art of knowing what your physical needs are within a relationship and mastering the art of boundaries. Like, where is it that you need your own space? And when I say relationships, it's any kind of relationship. We're seeing the 2 of Cups, so it's more of a one-on-one relationship. So it's probably somebody like a parent or a sibling, or it could be a relationship, like a love relationship, a marriage, a partner. It could be a friend, even a neighbor. But it feels like with this, the soul lesson is about really learning to trust those little intuitive whispers of your soul, to understand when you need space from somebody, when you go, I just need, I need my own, I need to kind of just have my own time. I need to have some time out, or I need to just not do everything with you in this way. Perhaps you need to set up some boundaries around money, or you need to have your own time within your daily routine or something like that. But I feel like it's very much learning to honor that you are going to need your own space within relationships. Because the Nine of Pentacles is also the card of being single as well. So it may be, or just having independent space around you. So it's this sense of the Piscean energy can work both ways. It wants to dissolve boundaries between people. But because we have Saturn in Pisces, it's teaching us how to create those boundaries, how to be able to set up any kind of structures that are serving you for the longer term, within boundaries, within relationships. So it's this sense of, where have you lost yourself within a relationship? Where have you sacrificed too much or given too much, or where has someone taken too much of you? Some of those kind of themes could come through, and it's about or it could be the opposite of, where have you had the barriers up and not allowed yourself to be one with a person, not allowed yourself to be able to to open up. So it's going to be different for all of you, but I feel like it's almost a sense of really trusting your intuition as to why you've had moments of, why you either need or have had moments of being on your own, or being alone, or even being lonely. What's going on with that? And is that there's something I feel like very beautiful that you can be at peace with here, and you can honor your deep soul needs. And it's this interesting sense of understanding that you have your own journey, the other person has their journey, and you can share that journey, but at the same time, they can't be you. And it is really important that you are going through your own stuff. And we have as an outcome the Fool and the Ten of Wands. I feel like this is a kind of a make or break energy. It's like stepping into the new, releasing burdens that you've been carrying around, old stories that you've been carrying around, old belief systems that you've been carrying around. And it may be a sense of, I'm not going to do too much for somebody anymore. Or I'm going to, this is either a breakup or a rededication with the Fool card and the Ten of Wands. But if it does step into something new, you're dedicating yourself to either taking more responsibility on within a relationship, or taking less responsibility on within a relationship. And that feels, it really has a sense of working out what feels right for you. So that's your reading, Aries. Seems like there's a lot of relationship stuff coming up for you. So next up we have Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So this energy is happening in your 11th and 5th houses. These are benefic houses, houses of joy. And also the nodes will be making some positive aspects to the Taurus energy. So there will be a positive energy flow, which will be really nice for you. In some ways, this is a little bit easier for you. So we have the 11th house and the 5th house. So you might find that you might see a pattern of change happening within your friendship groups, within, or a social group, something that, or some kind of group that you're working with. Perhaps this could be audiences as well. It could be something that feels like you really have this sense that I want to contribute to humanity in a more intuitive, flowy way, with a way that has more of a sense of spiritual purpose that can come through for you, Taurus. There's also a sense that maybe something shifts and changes with your relationship with children as well. There could even be changes within a child's friendship group that comes through, if that's relevant for you. But having the South Node in your house of joy, creativity, passion, things that you want to create in your world, this is where you've got gifts. You've already had the gift of learnt something about how you can create something beautiful into your world that you're passionate about. And perhaps this is something that then you are starting to bring out into the wider world and say, okay, I can contribute on a greater level to humanity by being of service in this way. The 5th house is also lovers, love relationships. So maybe there's something around that's shifting as well. But yeah, you're going to definitely see these kind of shifting patterns when it comes to friendship, children, and this sense of spiritual purpose and being of service to the world. So yeah, interesting. Let's see what's coming through for you. Let's pull some cards for you, Taurus, and see what is coming through, what is coming in as well. Now, some of you might also, in terms of if you're running your own business, there could be a sense of wanting to increase the profits of a business as well, but you will have to kind of do something that feels right, that feels like, okay, intuitively feels right rather than logically feels like the right thing to do. And I can see an increase in revenue coming through for some of you like that, in terms of some kind of rewards for career that comes through. So that is very beautiful. We have the King of Swords, interesting, as the path ahead. So there's going to be some beautiful sense of direction coming through. We've got new activations with the Ace of Wands. So the King of Swords, in terms of the path, is very it's an Aquarius type energy. So wants to bring in a new and innovative energy, a new plan, but it needs to have a strategy. It needs to have, even though we've got the sense of you're going with the flow a little bit, it's like the King of Swords has to make some choices and decisions around the direction that you're going in. So this actually might feel like cognitively you have got more choice in the matter in terms of these changes that could come through with you. The life lesson here is the Two of Pentacles, which is finding the balance here between trusting your intuition and making some really practical changes that are coming through here, starting new things. So if you're activating and starting new thing that is coming in on the material realm, and this could be some kind of work-life balancing coming through here, if you're starting a new job or you're starting a new relationship or you're starting something new, like a new foundation or a new company or a new offering in some way, it really feels like you're going to be balancing you're balancing energies. You're learning to work with that, to work with the ebbs and flows, because sometimes you might have these moments of like really intuitively being very clear about where you're going, and other moments it may be more that you are in the material realm actually having to work with money or the pragmatic nature of it and making those changes. And we have as a potential outcome the Hanged Man, which is the major arcana for Pisces. And this is the card of enlightenment, a card of understanding what it is, the other energy that is around Pisces. Some of the theme words are sacrifice and forgiveness. So the Hanged Man energy, I feel very much when it feels like you're ready to let something go for the greater, something personally for the greater sacrifice. No, for the sacrifice for the greater good. So it's a very giving energy, like very charitable. I want to give more. I want to give more back. And it feels like I am, yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting with this. There's something beautiful awakening within. And once that stabilizes in your world, because finding the stability can be a challenge, working with this more intuitive energy and understanding that, yeah, that's going to be a different place, just feeling your way through things. But once that stabilizes, then you have this sense of truly feeling like you have stepped into a sense of purpose. And I do get this sense of understanding what it is that you need to sacrifice in order to serve a greater good, in order to have a sense that I'm doing something for the betterment of humanity. It feels quite like quite a lofty goal, really, or a lofty energy, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, I'm going out and doing something for the world. It could just be that you're bringing better energy to a group of people around you. So maybe you're actively encouraging the youth, or some younger people, and helping them you know, find their direction or step into some of find their path in some way. Maybe it is about helping. I just feel like the circle is widening of who you are wanting to be of service to. And that's the feeling that I'm getting here. So if it's more than one person, there's groups of people here that are coming in, and I actually feel it in my heart, and it feels good. It feels very fulfilling to do that. So this Ace of Wands is saying, don't be afraid to activate new things. Your path is to actually being able to trust your intuition rather than be too logical about it. But there will be a whole heap of decisions that you get to make about it. And it feels like this sense of potentially a big shift when it comes to how you're working with your resources, how you're working with your time and effort and energy that serves the greater good. And that's your reading, Taurus. Okay, Gemini. Okay, so let's see. You've got Jupiter in your sign at this moment in time, which is like very much an energy of the universe is saying it's time to expand and grow, Gemini, and this can bring some good benefic things for you. But the nodes are moving into your 10th and 4th houses. So this is axes of home and work. So over the next 18 months, you might see a pattern of change happening with your work and career and your home life, and that could be work-life balance coming through for you. There could definitely be some exciting new developments coming in when it comes to career. This is a really great time to start some kind of business or step into some kind of job or work that feels really spiritually aligned to you, and really trust your intuition with what feels right for you. There could also be, some of you might be moving with the South Node moving through your home line, the 4th house. So there could be some shifts and changes happening around the home with that, or even around your family dynamics. I think that there's something coming up around that as well. So let's pull some cards for you The 10th house is also status, your contribution to the world. So status can be relationship status. It could be, you know, husband, wife, mother, lover, friend. But it's more to do with, okay, I'm so-and-so's mother. I'm so-and-so's marriage partner, I'm so-and-so's long-term partner, it can also be I'm the director of this company, or I'm a nurse, or I'm this, or I'm that. And it's how you kind of get defined as your contribution to the world. It's a sense of status that comes through. So there's something around that that can really be changing as well. So let's see, let's pull some cards for you and see what's coming in. There definitely could be a sense that in terms of your family of origin, you might be letting go of that voice of criticism, of judgment that is coming in. You could be letting go of that in order to make these changes in your career or your status. And it feels very much like a deepening of a spiritual connection. So it may be that if there's something that's happened in your childhood or something that's happening in the dynamics of your family that somehow have been holding you back or stopping you from connecting into that deeper level and doing what really feels right for you when it comes to a relationship status, job status, career, things like that, even living situation. This is where you've got a wonderful opportunity to become more aligned to your true spirit. The Three of Swords, the Sun, we love it. And the Page of Cups, beautiful. And we have the Tower, boom. Expect the unexpected with the Tower. It's about you having potentially out of the blue downloads, unexpected events, revelations. So these could be career shifts and changes where something exciting comes in out of the blue, or somebody loses a job out of the blue. But if that happens, it's because your soul's saying that's not aligned to you. You've outgrown that anymore. So your path is going to be of the Sun, of happiness. Your soul growth lesson is the happiness to break through those confines that you learnt as a child, the inner child. Let the inner child be free and find your inner light and find your happiness. This really sounds like you guys should be looking at goddess codes, because that's exactly what we're doing with this. So yeah, sounds perfect for Geminis. Check it out, Gemini. The beautiful, the path is the Three of Swords though. So this is wounds coming up to be healed. Childhood wounds, because it's next to the inner child. I'm going to pull you an inner child card around that, Gemini, just to clarify that as well, or get a little bit more messaging around that. But definitely feels like you might be doing some, and the Page of Cups as well, very deeply intuitive inner child work. The Page of Cups can be an apology or the need for forgiveness and compassion with something that happened to you within a family dynamic or within your childhood. So this can range from anything from trauma, deep trauma, to just some, you know, funky, you might love your siblings, but there's still like like that, it always comes up with that, you know, are you the oldest, are you the middle, are you the youngest? And that creates the dynamic within the family. And I feel like you're breaking free of something around that. So let's get the inner child message coming in for you. And that is going to directly impact your relationship, your career status as well. So let's see, we've got, you do not have to go it alone. Reach out for support in this time. Beautiful. So that's a really lovely energy to come through, because it's saying that if you are working through some of this stuff, the Pisces energy wants to dissolve barriers in a way. So it is about people taking responsibility for what's occurred, and not only like the things that somebody may have done to you that may have hurt you or blocked your inner child from going for something in the career or aligning with something that feels right. Because what you might find with the career line as well is that changes to career is some things just no longer feel right. It may have felt right. You may have even had success with it in the past. It may be something that was flourishing, and suddenly you get to this time and go, it's just intuitively not feeling right anymore. So really trust that energy. Trust who the right people are that are meant to be around you at this time. because that's what this "you do not have to go it alone" is about, is that there are people around you that are the right people to help you support you through this. And it may be that with that Tower card, they are the nodes of fate. Maybe there's somebody coming in that you're meeting that is going to help you with relationship and career, especially career. So it could be a relationship connected to career, but we have as a potential outcome that beautiful Page of Cups, and this is opening your heart to something new or someone new, getting really inspired, getting really creative, getting really feeling really enthusiastic about that, and really learning to trust your intuition. With the Page of Cups and the Tower card, there's definitely going to be surprises along the way. So it's like, boo, someone turns up out of the blue. A job opportunity comes out of the blue. That just, it feels, when that happens, you're going to know, and you're just going to have that knowing, that sense of, I was meant to meet this person. And this person was a catalyst for me going down this path with my job and my career or my status, and that was what my soul is wanting to learn. So it's a beautiful journey over the next 18th month of seeing a pattern of change between work, home and career, and what feels right for you and what doesn't. And definitely a lot of family stuff, a lot of inner child working, and some career changes and exciting opportunities, because it's intuitively showing you the right path to go down. Your soul's like, I want to learn that. So I know a lot of you have been like saying, I want to learn more intuitive gifts, or I want to be going into something that has more of a sense of soul purpose in terms of my career. And this is the perfect time over the next 18 months to work with that. So this is a good time for you guys, Gemini. Really fantastic energy to work with. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so Cancer and Cancer rising, this energy of the nodes is happening in your 9th and 3rd houses. Again, these are very, well, not again, but I said that to Taurus, that these are very benefic houses as well. There's going to be a nice aspect, a nice flow of energy between the trines and your sign as well. So in some ways there's a nice flow. It's going to be a little bit easier for you guys to kind of follow that call of your soul. And we're seeing this, there could be a pattern of change between country where you're living. So there might be travel. There might be travel around this, and there could be international travel around it as well. So this may be that you're planning that overseas trip, or that you move countries, or you move neighborhoods, or a sibling might even shift and change country and move neighborhoods. They might move in with you. There's something around a shift and change with your local environment where you're letting go of something. You're letting go and moving on from something that maybe once resonated and it doesn't anymore. And you're stepping into more of and the North Node energy wants to learn something around, the 9th house is a deeper meaning. What is the meaning of life? That can come through with that. And so it's like, what's out there in the world? Who's out there in the world? Are there other cultures? Are there other people? Are there people connected to some kind of foreign thing? It may be going down more of a religious path. Maybe I'm feeling the call to learn more about philosophy, belief systems, or religions, or something like that. Maybe you're feeling the need to, this is also the house of publishing. So for those of you who are wanting to publish a book, this is or put something out there, like even a podcast or something like that. This is where you are being asked to be really creative with this, and it's a time to be working with this. So your soul might feel really called into doing something like that. And so definitely feels like there could be shifts and changes coming through in terms of how you're experiencing the world. So how you communicate, the houses of communication. And it feels more like you're looking outwards into the bigger wide world out there. What's out there? And what's my spiritual purpose? What's the meaning? What meaning can I find out there in the world? So that's the feeling I'm getting for you, Cancer. You also have Jupiter moving into your sign mid next year. So this is an 18th month cycle, like transit, the nodes. So in Pisces and Virgo. So with Jupiter moving into your sign in June next year, you might really notice a shift then as well, because Jupiter wants to bring luck. It wants to bring expansion. It wants to bring good things. It's a time of personal expansion, of personal flourishing with Jupiter in your sign. And it very much feels like this could feel very much like you might be wanting to go on some kind of spiritual adventure or pilgrimage of some sort. So interesting. Some of you may have, if you're working with like marketing, or you've got a sense of your social media or communicating in some way, it's about letting go of perfection, trying some new things. There might be changes, unexpected changes coming in around that as well, where you're being asked to just be more intuitive and to trust without over-analyzing something. Just trust that you already know it in a way. So to trust that. So there might be some stuff coming up around higher education as well with the North Node in the 9th house. Some of you might be going back to graduate or to learn something new or to study. There could be something around that comes through as well. So let's pull some cards for you, Cancer, and see what is coming in, what themes the cards are bringing for you. So let's see what is coming in for Cancer. Let's see what is coming in. But whatever it is that you're doing there, like if you go traveling, or you want to learn about religion, or you want to release a book, or you want to, there's something to do with a foreign language, a foreign national, or foreign country of some sort, whatever it is, or just it needs to have this sense of deep, it needs to mean something. It's like it needs to, I'm not just going to this country because I want a holiday. I'm going there because it's potentially, and whether you know it or not, because they're the nodes of fate and karma, it might be on that trip you meet someone, or you learn something, or you find out something that is really fated. So you have to, it's a sense of trusting that the things that come to you in those areas of life are meant to be, or the people that, or experiences that come to you in those areas of life are meant to be. So I feel like in some ways this is going to be like a really, really heightened increased use of intuition for you, Cancer. And those of you who have your moon in Cancer as well, this is going to be like, whoa, okay, intuition on fire. We have the Emperor, the Ten of Swords, and the Magician, and the Knight of Swords. Interesting. So it's like a mercurial mind that could come through with this. So if something happens and there's a change that comes about, it's almost like you have to be able to go with the flow really quickly, shift and change your mind, take action really quickly. That's something that's coming through with here. We have the path is the Emperor. So it is about you stepping into your power in many ways, Cancer, within this, feeling empowered, feeling like an authority. So if the North Node is in that 9th house, maybe you're coming out as, this also is also the house of teaching, or gaining some kind of qualification or something. Like it's this sense of understanding on a deep spiritual energy that you are becoming the authority of something in your life, to trust your own, intuitively trust yourself as the authority of your life. So that is the path. And so it may be that you're finding yourself being put in positions of authority, or you're finding yourself put in a position where you're learning to trust your own inner guidance and wisdom, your own belief versus what somebody else is saying. So it's like against somebody that you see as an authority, and to intuitively trust your own what feels right for you, what feels meaningful for you, what you believe to be true. And we have the soul lesson is the 10 of Swords. Interestingly, this is letting go of the darkness. It feels like it's a transitional energy, embracing a new dawn, embracing the new day and going, I don't know what's going to come in today. It's something new, but I know I'm letting go of a very old story. And in some way, I understand that through that process, I do need a bit of recovery and transformation that's coming through. But the 10 of Swords is an end of a story. Absolutely, an end of a belief system. I don't need to believe that anymore. I'm embracing the new. That is the soul lesson that's coming through. And we see the outcome as the Magician, which is number one. Not only like being able to really get a greater sense of who you are, what your beliefs are, and trusting your own inner wisdom and authority of what feels right for you. But the Magician is the beautiful energy of alchemy. It's a sense of then you can manifest from that place. You can manifest and you have everything within you. And that's what the energy, the lesson of the Magician is to understand that you have all the elements around you and within you. And so you're learning that by being the Emperor and then going, right, okay, I'm learning to trust myself. I'm learning to believe in myself. I'm learning to manifest what it is that I want in my life. So very, very potent and beautiful energy. And so, yeah, wow, amazing. So that's your reading, Cancer. Thanks so much. And please check out the Goddess Codes course, because that would be perfect for this ninth house, the North Node in the ninth house energy, in terms of this spiritual sense of searching for meaning, deeper meaning. The Goddess Codes course will really help you with that. So please check that out. So for Leos and Leo risings, this energy, the nodes are happening in your 8th house and your 2nd house. These are the houses of money. So you might see a pattern of shift and change of how money is working for you, and this could be unexpected. So the South Node is in your 2nd house of your resources, the things that you value, your possessions, the money that's coming to you. So it may be you have a gift with bringing in money, absolutely, or there's a gift that you can use to create money or make more money in your world, or you work with money. But also with the South Node energy, feels like there's something that you're letting go of with the way money has been working in your world that you no longer need. And you're learning to let go of that. Maybe it's just about learning to trust your intuition a little bit more. That can come through with it. But it could be, okay, it could be something a bit more practical and pragmatic as well that comes in around it. With the North Node in your 8th house, this is a house of birth, death, rebirth, the house of shared resources, the house of psychology, the house of the mystical, the house of the occult, the house of anything taboo. So there's this sense of soul is going, yes, I want to learn about all of that. So this may be that you want to go do an astrology course, or you want to do a tarot course, or you want to do goddess codes course. That would be like, yes, I want to consume all these beautiful esoteric things and learn about them. I want to learn about those cycles of birth, death, rebirth. But it also may be that there's things like big money. That's also the house of inheritance or mortgages or and debt and tax. So it may be in terms of you're learning how to manage your resources a little bit better because you have Saturn in there as well. So this may be coming up with some kind of longer term plan in terms of like paying off a mortgage or getting a mortgage or paying off debts or working with your shared resources in some ways. And yeah, maybe there is a sense that you're working through that on a deep spiritual, there's a sense of if there has been some kind of, or is any kind of inheritance that comes to you or has come to you, or there's been a significant death in your life with Neptune there as well. They're just saying maybe you're just going through a deep journey of processing that and being able to psychologically process that, and the Neptune energy creates the space for peace, healing and forgiveness in some way, or just to understand the why that happened, the why. So and to hopefully find some peace with that. So definitely Leo feels like there might be a pattern of change when it comes to your finances, shared resources and money coming through as well. So there's a lot, and the 8th house is really great for if you wanted to go deeper in terms of learning more about that. Like I said, any kind of esoteric or taboo course, or it's really great for counseling, psychology, working with a therapist, working with an energy healer or something like that really works well. Going deep into that, learning about that, understanding what that all means. That's something else that comes through with this as well. So let's pull some cards for you, Leo. And with any of the nodes, it brings karmic changes. So it's a karmic shake-up of some sort. So whatever it is, if something comes through around your financial situation that feels like unexpected or out of the blue or a huge reset in some way, then it's really about questioning, okay, what is the soul growth lesson here? What's going on? So let's see for Leos. We have the path ahead is the 9 of Cups. The path is the 9 of Cups, which is all about fulfillment. Pisces is a water sign and Virgo is an earth sign. So we've got that coming through. And look, we've got success coming in with the 6 of Wands. So some of you with that and the Ace of Wands, there could be a lot of success around shifting and changing and the soul growth lessons around money, finances, even starting up a new business or managing and working your money a different way. There's beautiful validation and success coming through with the 6 of Wands. As the path is the 9 of Cups. So this is where, how do you fill your cup, Leo? How do you feel this character's feeling fulfilled and satisfied because they've filled all of these cups with people and experiences, learnings, things around them. And this character's going, I'm feeling pretty satisfied and happy with that. It was a very deeply fulfilling journey and path. And so interestingly, with the South Node in Pisces, and being such a highly intuitive, spiritual and imaginative sign, so it may be that you are letting yourself go into some beautiful imaginative realms. It's like playing with them in the mist or playing with fairies or something like that. But it just feels more like I'm just going to go with what feels good, as opposed to having to do something that doesn't feel good. So really trusting your intuition, following the path of fulfillment. And maybe it's like about understanding that if there is some kind of shift of money, like money could come to you with the North Node coming in the 8th house. If that happens, then it's a little bit more like doing something fulfilling with money and being able to also, like, you could be repatterning the finances, like you could be letting go of needing to be really perfectionistic or any kind of criticism that's coming through around that's come through in your life around your finances. The soul growth lesson is the Ace of Pentacles, and this is about starting something new, finding yourself on a new path when it comes to what's going on in terms of resources, in terms of your finances with this Ace of Pentacles. It may be that you're being really encouraged to start something like a new job or a new relationship or a new home or something like that, a new financial agreement that can come through. So that's the soul growth lesson, is finding success through new patternings, new experiences when it comes to finances. And we have as an outcome, the King of Swords, interestingly, is quite an Aquarius energy. And it may be that you find yourself coming up with new strategies, new plans, making different kind of choices and decisions, and to actually be quite detached when it comes to your financial situation. And so it definitely feels like, Leo, that it's like something concrete gets put in place. There might be new plans. There might be a new way of doing things, but it's very much, you might even talk to an expert with this King of Swords, but it's very much whatever it is that you've conjured up here and you've worked on and you've got inside your mind, you're going to put it into action as a plan of some sort that is going to somehow work with either those areas of life that we've just been talking about. So that's it, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me. Please check out my beautiful Goddess Codes course, and thank you so much for joining me. So for Virgo and Virgo rising, so Virgos, this is happening, the South Node is happening in your sign. So this is happening in your sign and your opposite sign, Pisces. So you're going to be feeling this really personally. So this is happening in your first house and your seventh house. So you might notice a pattern of change when it comes to your sense of identity, how you see the world, how you're seen in the world. And there might be a sense of very subtly or slowly letting go of something around that. So you might notice some shifts and changes in relationships as well. So it could be that you are learning a different way of being as well. So there's fated people coming into your life, new relationships or fated energy around an existing relationship, and karmic changes coming in around that. It may even be that you're seeing some shifts and changes for a partner if you have a partner. But it also is this sense of within relationships in particular, whether this is one-on-one relationships or whether this is work relationships. It usually is a one-on-one relationship with a client of some sort or a person of some sort, and it can be any kind of person. It feels like you're learning to really trust your intuition with that, with your feelings around this person. And there may be a lot of energy around setting up personal boundaries, learning to put up the boundaries that work for you. So that's something that comes through with this as well, Virgo. So it may be, with that sense of the South Node moving through your first house, there could be a real shift and change in terms of your physical body as well. It could be a physical appearance. So this could be in terms of a change to the way you appear or look. This could be a weight loss journey, or it could be a fitness journey. It could be doing something with your appearance or your hair, changing a style. It could be something around that. It could just be going out and buying a whole new wardrobe. There's something here where it almost feels like you might be letting go of this need to live up to. There's a letting go of living up to some kind of perfectionism or a standard, that you've set a very high standard for yourself, and almost there's a relaxing of those borders, that it's okay to be a little bit blurry and messy around those standards. It's okay to be a bit looser. It's okay if everything's not perfect. It's actually okay to be you. And I feel like a lot of this journey is going to be around self-acceptance and seeing what is mirrored back to you through relationships, in relation to how you judge yourself and how you feel like you have been judged, or even are judging others. So there could be a release of criticism as well, or just a sense of having to deeply analyze everything about yourself or everything in your life. It may be that the things that, because your sun is in Virgo as well, or your moon is in Virgo as well, it may be, if you're a Virgo sun, that the things that revolve around your life, that you usually, like your life usually revolves around certain things. So whether it's career or a person or a home or a relationship, or, you know, you love walking or hiking or something like that, whatever it usually revolves around might shift and change. So it might feel very different in that regard. And it might just almost, I feel like there's, if you can let go of what you need to let go of, there can be this blossoming into and becoming into something that softens and something that allows you to be who you are without feeling the need to live up to something. And so it's almost could, whilst it can, the letting go of that can feel a little bit like you've pulled the rug out of your feet, from under your feet. It can also be a relief. Oh, thank goodness. I can go out in my pajamas and who cares? I can go out without my hair done. Who cares? I can go out without makeup on. Who cares? I don't have to constantly live up to this thing. You know, maybe it's this sense of a lot of stuff could be coming up around relationship with parents as well, mother and father. And it may be that this sense of, so if there's an energy of feeling like you had to live up to some kind of approval for your parents, it may be that there's something coming in around that as well. So interesting. Changes of belief systems around identity is coming in for you, which feels really karmic. If we go up to the level, they're taking me up to the Akashic Records level, the soul growth lesson level now, and we're going to pull some tarot and ask about that. So let's see what is coming in for Virgo. Let's see what is the energies that are coming through for Virgo. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Swords. Let's get one more card for you. The Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Yeah. You know, this Eight of Cups is saying very strongly that, again, it's about like the Piscean energy is about, which is the North Node is in Pisces, is really about asking you to trust what is feeling right and what isn't. So if something really, you know, something, it could be one of those things that, you know, everything, life was all good. It was feeling all good in this area of life. And suddenly something shifts and something's not feeling right, or that something is no longer feeling as fulfilling as it used to. Trust those feelings, because that's where it's showing you. In the South Node in your sign is saying that you have passed through a karmic cycle and you've learned everything that you need to learn in that cycle, and it's time to let that go. You don't need to go down that path. You don't need to be learning those things. But it can be that those things come easily to you. It can be that it can lead you to intuitive gifts. And there's a sense of, maybe it's a sense of self-mastery that's coming through here, where you're understanding who you are, not living up to someone else's expectations. That can come through with it as well. And if that's not how you're feeling, because that's what they're showing me this is, then there will be some karmic lessons coming in around relationships, learning that. So the Eight of Cups is really much is saying if something is not feeling right, this is the character saying, I'm not feeling fulfilled by this anymore, then it's time for me to walk away, to leave, to even emotionally detach. So it might be one of those interesting things that there may be, I used to be feeling really attached to that person and now I don't. And it's sort of strange. It doesn't feel like there's as much there anymore, or it just feels different and I can't quite put my finger on it. And really trust that feeling. The Piscean energy is saying to go with the flow and learn to trust that. And with Saturn moving through Pisces as well, it really is asking you to look at those personal boundaries that are coming through. So we see that the path is the 10 of Pentacles, and definitely feels like there's a lot of stuff coming in around family, around relationships, family relationships, around ancestors and what you have been taught down the line. So if you're a Virgo sun, it will be related to whoever was the authority in your life, they're considered to be the main authority. And if you're a Virgo moon, that's usually like a lot to do with home and mother energy as well, or the person who is the more nurturing and intuitive person in your life. So for some of you, you're like neither of them are that, or it's vice versa. Depends on what parent or guardian you had or lack of. And so themes around that are going to be coming up with the path of the 10 of Pentacles, is being able to understand that there is a really tangible shift and completion that's coming through around a family cycle, around something that's happened with a family dynamic that can come through with this. So it's interesting with the 10 of Pentacles because it is a sense of feeling like I'm completing a story, but I wasn't even realizing that this story needed to end. That's the feeling I'm getting with it. So the soul growth lesson is this King of Swords, which both this and the Eight of Cups are both about detachment, feeling like you're feeling not as attached to someone, or the need to detach from somebody. And this is what the King of Swords is. This is an Aquarius type energy where it's a little bit of a cooler energy. It's like a standing back. It's more, I'm connecting with, it's more of a head energy, whereas the Eight of Cups is more the heart energy. So it feels very much like you're working with this interesting connection between head versus heart and how they're conversing with each other and what they're saying. And I do feel like it's going to be necessary to put distance between you and somebody else. That could be coming through around it. It could also be that they do that to you. And if somebody does that to you, then it's a sense of understanding, okay, what has been the pattern of that person in my life? What has been the soul growth lesson? And what have I learnt through that? What do I need to, what can I let go of because I've already learnt this? And what is the new soul growth lesson that I'm learning if it's somebody new coming in or a new pattern coming in? So the King of Swords is very much, the soul growth lesson is about being quite like really knowing when you need your space and understanding the personal boundaries around you with that King of Swords. It's the opposite of being in your heart space. Really, it's about being in your head space and really finding the clarity inside your mind to make choices and make decisions and make plans that are not based on, they're saying it's not based on, it's not an emotional choice or decision, even though you are listening to your heart and you're going, okay, this isn't feeling right. So, but instead of the decision coming from your heart, it's more like I've listened to my heart and now I need to just take a big step back, look at what's going on in my life, and then make a choice from a fairly rational and logical place. So it's this interesting sense of learning to use your rational mind and your intuitive sense together in a way that works for you in your life. So you might get an intuitive feeling, but unless you've got this sense of learning to, unless you can mentally detach from it as well and look at it clearly and go, yes, that feels right for me, then that is something that you're going to struggle with, following that intuitive path, struggling that intuitive feeling. And that's in some ways going to be the lesson, knowing when to trust that intuitive feeling and when not to. So it's like you can't really analyze it. The more you try to overanalyze it, the less you're going to be following your intuition. So in some ways, like I said, they keep saying, get this message first of the Eight of Cups, what intuitively isn't feeling right, then take a big step back, detach, see the pattern in your life, and then see if it's working for you or isn't, and what is the soul growth lesson coming through. And it's tricky because it is head versus heart and trying to get them to communicate in a way that they agree. But they're saying, listen to the intuitive message first and then take that step back. So the outcome is the Three of Pentacles, which is very much saying that both the Ten of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles is that you might be seeing some very tangible shifts in your life when it comes to processes, how things are working. And this is energy exchanges with the Three of Pentacles. This is the energy exchanges between you and other people. How is that working? Is it fair? Is there a nice flow to that? Is it productive? Are they respecting you? Is it efficient? Is it working? And it's really about making that flow of energy between you and somebody else on a very tangible way. You're going to see this, whether you see it in a family situation, like we're working better together, or within a work situation, or that you're being more productive within a business, or whatever it is that's coming through. You're tangibly seeing this flow of energy working within group situations, within the flow between you and somebody else. And it's really important for you to be feeling really valued. And so there's also, interestingly, what they're showing me here is almost like a leadership energy that's coming in for you, Virgo. So it may be that you're finding yourself stepping up into a position where you're taking more responsibility or stepping into a leadership energy in a certain part of your life. And it may be the opposite in other parts where it's like, but I'm now stepping back. And I'm stepping back from that, and I'm no longer a part of leading that, or I'm no longer feeling like that's where my energy is being pulled. So it really feels like it's kind of rearranging your life in a way. Having the South Node move through your sign, it's an 18-month cycle. It's going to be a big thing, but really, the South Node can connect you to your gifts as well, because it's an old karmic cycle that you've already learnt everything that you need to learn about that. It's very intuitive, and it very much is this sense, the challenge to get, like I said, out of your analytical mind and to trust your intuition a little bit more. But also it's this sense of there are gifts of leadership coming your way, I want to say, Virgo. So, but that may look very different in 18 months' time to what it looks like now. So, or stepping into the limelight and feeling seen and valued. So that's your reading, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. Best of luck with everything. And please check out my beautiful Goddess Codes course. This is really wonderful for working with the nodes and the karmic shifts that are happening over the next 18 months. The link is in the description box below. And take care, Virgo. Okay, for Libra, beautiful Libra and Libra rising. Okay, so the nodes are shifting, and so this nodal energy is happening in your 12th house is the south node in Virgo, and the 6th house is the north node in Pisces. So you might see some patterns when it comes to things like work and daily routines, health, and also what you do behind closed door, what you're working on in the subconscious, what you're working on behind the scenes. And it may be that you're letting go of something that's related to self-sabotage. You might be working deeply on some subconscious beliefs around that, Libra. And it may also be that you are working through some endings that have occurred in your life, understanding that the karma around that and the lessons and the energy around that is something you don't need in your life anymore. So it could be almost like you're doing a lot of work like kind of behind the scenes that a lot of people won't necessarily be privy to. And it may be a sense of understanding how somebody's letting go of somebody's opinion of you, letting go of somebody else's process that was somehow that was somehow negatively impacting you in some way. I feel like it's moving towards a level of acceptance and a level of being able to accept what happened and to be able to put it into some sort of spiritual perspective, where instead of going into over-analysis over it, you can actually find the forgiveness and let it go in some way and intuitively work with a process that is going to work for you that might be a little bit more, like I said, hidden behind the scenes or something to do with your subconscious energy. So in terms of the North Node moving into your 6th house of health and daily routines, there's going to be changes, maybe karmic changes, a pattern of change that you're seeing in your work and daily routines. There's karmic people or opportunities coming through around that. Your routine might change. Your work might change. The work-life balance might change with this. And so it could be some exciting opportunities come through in terms of work for you as well, Libra. That's something that comes through. And if it is, it's about intuitively going with the flow, trusting that. And it may be that in some ways, Libra, you are being asked to step into a sense of authority and leadership when it comes to your work or in your world, like the daily routine, what happens within that. It may be that you're being asked to, for a little while, bring in some more discipline around that. So it might feel like there's a little bit more of a regular routine or a regular order. And then probably there's going to be there's going to be like probably about the middle of the year to the end of the year, there might be a time where it's a little bit more free flowing, and then it's going to want to go back into creating a little bit more order again. So it's like this sense of, is it these days I'm doing this? And then that's really like kind of regular. And then it might all shift and change somewhere like around April, May, June. And it might be a little bit more flowy. And yeah, you're really going to have to go with the flow with it a bit, Libra. But again, it feels like you're kind of coming in and out of having a taste of being responsible. And then it's a little bit easier, and then it's like a little bit of responsibility again. So there's these patterns that are coming through here. In terms of your health, this might actually be the time to address something, or there might be a health issue that does come up with the North Node in your house of health. And that might be in terms of understanding that what I'm getting with this, Libra, because Pisces can be related to poisons. It can be related to drinking, escapism. It's kind of like I want to escape daily routine. And there's Saturn in your sign in Pisces for a little bit in your work and daily routines. That is very much a sense of going, no, 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 you have to do it this way. There's certain rules. And then it's very much like when Saturn leaves and moves into Aries, it can be okay, maybe I can pass a little bit of that responsibility onto a partner or somebody else for a while. So, or vice versa. It could go vice versa. So, but in terms of health issues, it is about really trusting your intuition. Be aware of the boundaries around your health. Be aware of where you're sacrificing too much. Where the word sacrifice enters into the world of health. So it really might be asking you to prioritize yourself and prioritize your health or a health issue. And that might be an interesting challenge for you. But it really feels like there's something that you need to be working on health-wise, or you need to be working on work-wise, and it just feels like there's something really important and destined about where you find yourself with your health and work journey at this moment in time. So let's see. And you might have some interesting dynamics with either people that are underneath you that you've got working for you, or that are above you. So it's going to be an interesting journey of that being mirrored again about you, that being mirrored. So just say you were a teacher and you had a group of students, then your relationship with them is going to be mirrored back to you. Or if you are working within a group and you've got a manager, and vice versa, you've got someone above you managing, then there's going to be something around that dynamic that your soul is going, we want to learn about that. We're learning something on our soul growth journey about these dynamics with these people. And they are power dynamics. And in a way, it's almost like you are there to understand the nature of power. So let's see, and how you can be, because you have Pluto and Aquarius trining Libra, how you can be powerful in the situation without being dominating. Is what I want to say. So it's, but also where you can be powerful within a situation without giving away too much of your power and being too much of a people pleaser, too much of a, oh, I'll just go with the flow and not really assert what it is that you need. So you're going to be finding these kind of issues coming up when it comes to your work. There's new activations coming through, absolutely, with the Ace of Wands. Some of you might be finding that you're stepping into new careers, new roles, new jobs with this energy, Ace of Wands and the Fool card. So definitely new activations coming through, new things on the horizon, stuff is going out and leaving you, and new opportunities are coming in. So there's going to be this kind of sense of a flow happening here when it comes to work opportunities coming your way, or the things that you're working on. So I know not everybody is working, but it is the sense of what is your daily routine looking like, because it may be I'm doing this for a little while, but then something else is coming through. So it really feels like this area of your life does want to expand and grow. And it really is about understanding that it's a little bit of a, ships coming in and ships coming out kind of energy. And you have to go with the flow with that. Like, oh, 1 minute, this has come towards me. Oh, this feels good. And next minute, oh, that's not feeling, that's kind of gone over that way and there's something new coming in. So it's really about just working with the opportunities and not really being attached to anything, because I feel like there's this fluidity and this need to be able to go with that flow and be flexible within situations rather than hold on to it, because there's going to be a whole heap of new things coming in. And your soul growth lesson is the Fool. It's about stepping into something new, resetting, being excited about that as well, going, okay, I don't necessarily need to know where I'm going. I'm traveling light. So you don't want to carry a whole heap of old baggage, a whole heap of old karma with you. It's like, yes, I want to travel lightly. It feels like a lovely, light, big new adventure, a new beginning, which is very nice to come through for you, Libra. And the path really is about attaining and perhaps setting yourself a goal. That's something that will come through. For some of you, it may be also that you are thinking of wanting to increase your financial situation, or stability around that financial situation. There's something coming in around that as well. So, but in general, it feels very positive with these cards here for you, Libra. It's an opportunity here for you to have some goals some new ambitions, and just be open up to new opportunities when it comes to work and what the things that you're working on and how your daily routines might shift and change around that. So that's your reading, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments and find out what is going on for you. Remember, this is an 18-month cycle. So these pattern of change in your work and health and what's going on in that subconscious realm and behind the scenes is something you're going to be working on for the next 18 months. So you are going to see shifts and changes. It's going to be like a pattern that you're going to start seeing over that period. And please check out Goddess Codes as well. It's really good for working with these karmic shifts and changes and the nodes and how that works in our lives. So please check that out. And really fabulous for this full energy, new activations, the full, yes, fabulous. So check that out and take care, Libra. Okay, so Scorpio and Scorpio rising. So this is a nice energy for you, actually, a bit of an easier karmic shift for you guys. I know you did have the South Node in your sign a couple of years ago and it was like, whoa, really intense. So now, because the North Node is moving into Pisces, another water sign, this is going to be a beautiful flow of energy to you because you're also water sign as well. We have the South Node in Virgo is making a positive aspect to you as well. So in general, you might see some wonderful shifts and changes, karmic shifts and changes that are mostly pretty positive. And so it really is this energy of just being able to go with the flow with what comes through. So in terms of the houses that astrology houses that this is affecting, the South Node is moving into your 11th house and in Virgo, and the North Node's moving into your 5th house in Pisces. So these are two really good houses. They're the two positive houses. And the North Node's moving into your house of creativity, children, passion, creation. So there actually could be some this is karma, this is fate, this is soul growth lessons coming in for you around those things, around children, around what you've created in your world and what you want to create in your world. This could be where you are you're creating a project, or you might be writing a book or something like that, or some sort of creative project that is very very karmic, very destined for that you are supposed to be doing this. So this could be something creative coming through with that. There could be a love affair. It's the house of passion, love affairs. So there could be someone that comes into your life. If they do, yes, they are fated, and there are soul growth lessons around that person. So you're going to start seeing a pattern of change that may be around friends and also children and creative energy. So, and passion. So it's really nice having the North Node traveling through that house because you can really dive into that. But you might go look now, it's an 18-month cycle. So you look at these pattern of karmic changes and soul growth lessons. You start now, and then in 18 months' time, so that will be mid-2026, you look at what's happened between you and potentially your children, or relationship with a child, or relationship with something that you've created in your life, or like a passion or a hobby, that beautiful hobby that comes through might flourish and grow with this, or a pattern of change when it comes to a love affair. It's interesting that with the South Node in your house of friendships, it may be that suddenly certain friends just don't resonate with you, or certain groups of friends suddenly just feels like I just don't feel attached to them anymore, or I feel like, yeah, it's sort of a funny feeling where maybe you might even lose a friend or a group of friends, or just not feel like they're just not feeling like my people anymore. So there's going to be this sense of friendship, the energy around friendships or friendship groups might shift and change. It might also be that there is something around your sense it's the house of groups, friendship, but also humanity, humanitarian issues as well. And it maybe you're getting involved with this idea of service and what you can bring as how you can best serve humanity. And what you used to think that was might shift and change into something different. It might feel very different. So, yeah, it's an interesting energy, but it feels a little bit more like, I mean, this is wonderful having a very creative energy in your house of creativity. So definitely feels like it's time to kind of go exploring that a little bit, Scorpio. And it needs to have this sense of purpose as well. So I really feel like you're finding a sense of purpose through those things, and definitely a different sense of where you are in the world, like how you fit into the world, what your purpose is here in terms of serving the planet, if that, or the, you know, the people around you, how they're serving you as well. Are you might suddenly think, oh, we have absolutely nothing in common, or I don't share the same belief systems as those people anymore. Something could really shift and change around that, and it could be quite interesting. So we have the outcome, the Ace of Swords and the World card. Yes. So this sense of clarity coming out and going, I'm learning my place in the world. I'm learning something new about the world. I'm potentially learning how to find my voice, or what, because the Ace of Swords is very much the throat chakra. And I feel like it's like very much putting an end to a very old cycle where there was something blocked in the throat chakra, where it felt like I couldn't speak my truth, or it wasn't aligned to my authentic truth, or I couldn't speak what was on my mind. It's interesting because the soul growth energy, the soul growth path or lesson here is the Ten of Wands, which is very much a sense that you are learning to dedicate your energy to something that is of service to the world and or to the people. It's a release of an old cycle. There could be huge mindset shifts that come in around this, or huge shifts of perspective that come in around this. And it actually, the Ten of Wands is a dedication, taking responsibility. And also it's where do you want that to be? What do you want that to look like? Because you also don't want it to feel like it's a burden, that you're sacrificing too much, or that you're getting burnt out. So it's also like this energy of understanding what mental processes or thought patterns have really been serving you, and what belief systems, and this can be other people's opinions of you and other people's beliefs, and what has been serving you, and what is an older karmic cycle that you can let go of now and say, that didn't serve me anymore. I don't need to believe that anymore. What I learnt through that, or through those people, that group of people, or my family, or that group of friends, whatever it is, it's like I don't need to believe that about myself anymore. And it feels like, you know, the path is through relationships. There's going to be this interesting mirroring of what's going on for you when it comes to that through relationships with the Two of Cups. So it feels more like potentially you might find one-on-one relationships more stimulating than group relationships at this time. Or if you do find a group relationship stimulating, then that's shifting to something, or a new group that you previously, there's something changing around that. So it feels very much like you're getting this real clarity and sense of almost like a sense of mission coming through here for you, Scorpio. I'm feeling with the Ace of Swords, and this is a beautiful Aquarius energy, a very powerful mindset shift and understanding of what new energy you're dedicating yourself to, what you're taking responsibility for, what's your stuff, and what's an old cycle that is no longer yours and you don't need it anymore. And so this, in a way, liberates you and frees you to be more you, more sense of authenticity, more sense of, I can just be myself. So it might open up your intuition. It might open up your sense of expression. It might open up your voice. It might open up your creativity. It might open up the sense of I don't have to fit in. It's okay if I don't fit in. It's okay if I'm different to the group. It's okay if I don't need to be with something an energy that doesn't serve me as well. You know, some groups of friends don't make you feel good, or some groups don't make you feel good at all. And it's like, I don't need to be in that energy anymore. So it really almost feels like there's a coming back to self here, and a blossoming of yourself that gives you this opportunity to see these authentic truths about you in this life. And it actually feels lovely. It feels like a blossoming that's coming through, which is very beautiful, Scorpio. And it actually feels very supported by the universe. It's not as, like I said, it's very supported karmic shifts and changes for you guys. It's a lot easier. It's going to be much easier than other signs. So that's your reading, Scorpio. So thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. Remember, this is an 18-month cycle, so you're going to start seeing these shifts and changes happening, but it will be a pattern, so it might shift and change quite a bit, like it might be, but be really aware of, it may even be with that North Node in the 5th house that you're seeing a change to a child happening here. Not necessarily a change to it could be a change to your relationship to a child as well, but they might be going through some significant changes. But it's one of those things, when you look back in mid-2026 to now, you're going to start seeing that pattern. So, yeah, thank you so much. Please check out the Beautiful Goddess Codes course. This Ace of Swords in the World card, it's perfect for that. It's really perfect for mindset shifts, connecting you to your authentic truth, being able to let go of those old karmic cycles. It really supports this nodal work, a sense of mission and stepping into purpose, understanding what it is you want to dedicate yourself to in your life, and really kind of learning more about yourself. It's a journey of self-discovery on a very high spiritual, energetic level. So it's, fantastic. And I'm absolutely loving it. And I know the people that are doing the course at the moment are getting so much out of it. It's just amazing information they're getting each session. So yeah, please check that out. The Goddess Codes. It starts early Feb. Get in soon. And yeah, talk soon. Thank you so much, Scorpio. So for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, and that is me, so I know this chart very well. This energy is happening in your 4th and 10th houses. So the North Node is traveling through Pisces in your house of home and family, and the South Node is traveling through our 10th house of career, status, your contribution that you're bringing to the world. So you have gifts. The South Node brings gifts. You have gifts, and you have to trust your intuition as to what those gifts are. So you might see a pattern of change when it comes to your work-life balance, when it comes to your career. in particular. And what's happening around the home with the North Node around your home, you might see changes, a pattern of changes around the home. So this could be in the form of, okay, renovating, moving home, buying a home. It could be some sort of event or thing occurs, something karmic or fated occurs where you have to make a change around the home in some way. So it's going to be really interesting to see what your home space looks like now versus what it's going to look like in mid-2026 when this, in 18 months' time, when this cycle ends. So that's something that's coming through. I think a lot of career shifts and changes are coming through for you too, Sagittarius. You really need to get out of your mind, your analytical mind with that, and go deep into your intuition and trust where you're meant to be going with your career. Some things are no longer going to be resonating, and you need to trust that you can move forward with a level of mastery. You've already mastered something, and so find that thing that is that special thing that you can do that is unique and special to you, and then use that bring that into your career. So it may be that with the South Node in the 10th house, that there could be, the South Node is saying we've learnt all the karma about that anymore. It might be something that comes easily to you, or you might have gifts around it, but something isn't resonating anymore. And it can bring things like loss, or it could bring changes to jobs and careers as well. If this happens, then it's something that's saying it's not right for you anymore. It's to say it's not where your soul wants to go. You're not learning anything on a soul growth lesson. You've learnt everything that you needed, and it's time to expand and grow into a new space. So let's see what else is coming through for you, Sagittarius. Let's pull some cards and see what is coming in. And yeah, the other thing they're saying is because this is happening in the mutable signs, which you are a mutable sign as well, it is forming a challenging aspect to Sagittarius. So it may be that there are what they're saying is karmic missed steps when the nodes square you. It's when there's something that you were supposed to already learn or do, whether it's in this lifetime or a past lifetime, and it's like for whatever reason you didn't do it, or you avoided doing it, or you chose not to do it, and they're saying now we're giving you another opportunity to look at that, learn that lesson, go down that path and find out what this is all about. So it may have this sense of, I have to do this. I'm really feeling drawn towards, a shift in my career, or doing something around my home, or finally fulfilling something. It might really have that energy around it. But there might be, that could in itself be very deeply fulfilling, but it could be challenges, because it's got this sense of it's a challenge to take action around it, or there's challenges around it to make it happen, whether that's resistance or blocks or whatever's going on with it. So the Seven of Cups is saying, and the King of Cups, very much it's about illusions in your life and fantasy, and it's a visionary energy, the Seven of Cups. But I also get this sense that there could be some emotions that are being brought up here, and it's this interesting energy of what is an illusion and what is real. And so you're really going to have to trust your intuition with this. You might have a vision of what you're seeing here, but there might also be some stuff happening on a relationship level that you've got to find some calmer waters with. You've got to find some kind of to transition and move away from something that's a situation that's emotionally challenging for you. And so the thing is, it's not going to be super clear with that Seven of Cups. It may be that you've got a sense of what you want, or might be that I have absolutely no idea. I'm feeling really lost, really disillusioned, really not sure about what's going on, about where I'm living or what's happening with my career. But interestingly, we do move towards the clearer skies of the Six of Swords. We move away from that emotional drama. Some of you are going to be moving. with that card coming in. That is the card of moving and traveling and being in a transition phase. So that is going to happen. There's a lot of water around this. So it is about trusting your intuition and also about emotional challenges when it comes to relationships as well. We also have the path of the Ten of Swords, which is saying that there is shifting landscape happening here. So especially around your home and living situation, there is a shifting landscape. Something either needs to end or has ended. And so through that, it may actually be that there are emotional challenges around that, but there's also the need for a recovery period to come through with it as well. But this is still visionary energy. So it's a little bit like you might have a vision of where you want to live, or you might have a vision of the energy you want around the home, or you might have a vision of your living space or your ideal dream house, or what you want your home to look like if you made changes. Maybe you want to paint it or buy new furniture or something like that. This also relates to family as well. The fourth house is not only home, your physical home, but your ancestors, your roots, your families. So it could be that there's something quite, something your soul wants to know around that. So you might be going through some interesting ancestral healing processes that can come through as well. It may be secrets are being revealed around your family, or you're gathering some great insights around what's going on underneath that surface when it comes to family dynamics. For some of you, you might want to go deep into the history of it. You might find that a very deep, fulfilling and rich place to get into. And there's opportunity for healing and forgiveness ultimately when it comes to this. So this is actually a very beautiful energy, but it will be challenging because I feel like there's this churning in the heart. There's a sense of feeling conflicted in the heart, but at the same time, once things become clear inside your mind, you can almost put some, I'm getting the words peace. You can find peace or lay some things to rest. So there could be a mindset shift about how you relate to your family or your ancestors or your ancestral energy or lineage or anything like that that can come through around this as well. And it feels almost like there is something very deep inside that needs to be released and let go of in order for you to move forward. And once you kind of mentally grasp that, I mean, there's new options in front of you at the moment, but once, in terms of everything, all of it, there's new options, and it's just, you know, intuition might be a bit clouded about what the best option for you is, especially when it comes to career or career changes and status changes as well. So this is also, you know, status is like, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a partner, I'm a child, I'm a CEO, I'm a this, I'm a that. That's kind of a status thing. I live in the best street. I live in the worst street. This is all status stuff. I drive this car. I drive that car. So there's a sense of shifting of status that's coming through here, and there's options coming in around that. But ultimately, I feel like there's a sense of coming back to a deeper, authentic truth of who you are and being able to let go of that through knowledge, through a deeper understanding of a family issue or family patterns that are coming up down the line. So definitely moving to calmer waters. I mean, look, you're moving from the Ten of Swords, which is darkness. There's a new dawn, which is really nice, to these clear skies. But we have a little bit of drama in between with these deep waters of the King of Cups. So, but it's like, you know, in order to get from here to there, it's processing a lot of emotions and learning to master this sense of trusting your intuition, trusting your feelings, and mastery of those feelings. And then it's a sense of you're moving to clearer skies, to calmer waters, and finding peace. So it's a beautiful energy coming through for you, Sagittarius, if you work with it well. And like I said, when it comes to career, it might feel like you're getting the sort of the soul push or the karmic push to go in this direction. And if you're not listening to that, then the universe will make that change for you. And so it's one of those things that if you find yourself in a very different place when it comes to your career or your living situation, understanding that maybe the universe is saying you've gone off path in some way and we want you to be going in a new direction. So, but ultimately, yeah, you're moving from a much darker place to a place of clarity and peace, which is very beautiful, Sagittarius. And like I said, there's a bit of movement and travel coming through as well. Some of this can be local travel, some of it international, because I'm kind of getting a sense of traveling over the seas as well. So that could come in for some of you. So yeah, that's your reading. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. Please check out my beautiful course, The Goddess Codes, that is starting in early February. So in a couple of weeks, or not long now actually, so you better get in and check that out, because this is it's actually a really fabulous course for getting to know yourself on a very deep level, and also getting some really high level soul and energetic information about yourself, your soul origins, who you are, coming back to a sense of authentic truth. And I'm finding it's very empowering for people. And I'm finding also with this, they're showing me the Seven of Cups, and the King of Cups is, what it's doing is it's opening up people's energy centers so that they're becoming more intuitive, so that they're having these beautiful experiences and learning to trust themselves and their intuition a lot more. So yeah, love it if you check that out. It does bring you to a place of peace as well with that Six of Swords. So that's nice. So the link is in the description box below. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, Sagittarius. So Capricorn and Capricorn rising. So this is actually a pretty positive flow of energy for you guys, because they're in the earth and water signs. So the North Node in Pisces will be making a positive aspect to your sign, as well as the South Node in Virgo will be making a positive flow of energy to your sign. So in some ways, it's a little bit easier for you than a lot of other signs, which is absolutely fantastic. This energy, the nodal shifts, the karmic changes, is happening in your 9th house and 3rd house astrology houses. And these are the houses of learning and communication. So this is where you're going to see a pattern of change over the next 18 months with those kind of themes. So it could be early education, it could be going back, and it could be higher education, higher study. It may be something suddenly not feeling right for you. Or maybe you've got a gift for learning. But either way, there's this sense of communication and study that some themes coming through, with the North Node moving into your 3rd house. So there could be some karmic shifts and changes when it comes to your relationship with your siblings. That's something that could come through around that. It could be a sense of learning a lot about what's going on for them, being able to go with the flow, intuitively knowing what is going on for them if you have siblings. It is also for whatever reason, it's the house of short distance travel and cars. So this may be that you're either getting a new car, you're having a car issue, or you're deciding you don't even want a car anymore. Maybe you're moving from gas to electric or something, or hybrid or something like that. There could be something around cars, a fated energy around a car coming in as well, or a karmic lesson around a car. For whatever reason, they're showing me that. And it may be that you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get myself a better car, because that's going to be feeling better for me for whatever reason. Maybe it opens up this sense of being able to travel a little bit more. I can travel around, I can go places, I can feel better. So that can come through with it as well. But this is the local environment in the third house as well. It's, you know, your known environment. So there's something shifting and changing around that. And it may be, sometimes this is when people move. If you're living overseas, you might think to move. You might want to move or go back or shift and change where you're living. There could be that you might start seeing developments happening in the energy around you, or that there's a real shift to the vibe or the culture or the something, or groups of people with the general environment around you. So it could be that you're starting to feel more part of a community, or that you're getting more involved with it in some way. So, yeah, I really feel like your general environment is going to shift and change. There's going to be these patterns of change that are coming in around that as well. So with the South Node in the 9th house, this is the house of belief systems, finding meaning in the world. So it may be that something that really resonated for you, that really felt like that was a sense, something that gave me a lot of meaning, suddenly might not. It might be, oh, that's just not doing it for me anymore. Maybe I need to find something new, a new sense of purpose or a new sense of meaning. And it may be I need to just widen the net and go exploring a little bit more. So that can come through with it as well. The 9th house is the house of religion. So if you were brought up with religion, some sort of religious or philosophical belief system, it may be that that's not resonating as much, or that it's just, you might even leave that. But I mean, the thing is that the South Node can also bring gifts. So this is the house of publishing. It's the house of broadcasting. So, and these are the social media. The 3rd house is the house of communication, marketing, social media. So you might have a gift of book publishing that could come through, or you may be learning a lot more about how you're marketing your business or using social media in some way. There could be shifts and karmic shifts and changes coming in around that. It might be like, I need to know how to do this all of a sudden. So it feels very much like this is nice energy coming through for you, Capricorn. Let's see what else is coming in. Okay, let's see. They're saying the 9th house is also anything foreign, like foreign countries, foreign nationals, foreign languages. You might have a gift for those sort of things, or it could be it's higher education, university teaching, lecturers, things like that as well. Yeah, anything around those themes. It almost feels like you're letting go of something around that. So yeah, it definitely feels like some of you might be moving country, or if that's the case, but it doesn't have to be for all of you. So let's see, we've got this beautiful star card crowning you here with the Aquarius energy. Your path is this 9 of Swords, and that is to not get too much in your head. Not to get too much into over-analytical brain where there's too many stories going around and around and around, not to over-analyze something, because this is the houses of communication, thinking and learning. We're seeing with the 9 of Swords that this is where you've just got so much on your to-do list, or there's a story that's just going around and around and around, and this can be maybe looking at sleep, getting some good sleep, looking at sleep patterns, but also it is about fears and phantoms that are coming up, that are running through your mind. So it feels like with the star card that you're being asked to follow the star, as opposed to be here in this state here of the 9 of Swords where you're in the dark and you can't see anything. So the star is the higher consciousness that comes down to the earth. And it's about opening your mind to not this energy that's going around your brain, but being able to move past that limitation and open up to something that is a collective energy or of a higher consciousness. So things like meditation practices, any kind of spiritual healing practices could be really great for that as well, to actually go, okay, the story that's running around, the over-analysis or even the critical energy, the judgment that's going around my mind, or the fears that are going around my mind, the story that I'm telling myself here, I really need to connect into something that feels like a higher source that's guiding me here. So it feels like there's this sense of finding purpose through either things like spiritual beliefs, philosophies, stuff like that, religions, or just a higher consciousness of some sort. I need to know that there's a higher purpose, a higher plan of some sort. And so it's nice to have that there with the star. We also see your soul growth lesson here is the Three of Cups, and that is about community, finding connections within community, finding a sense of finding the people around you that feel like your people, that feel like your tribe. Celebrate those people, get involved. So there might be celebrations or fairs or events on or something like that. There's a sense of opening up to new emotional connections or strengthening connections that you have already within the community group. And we have as an outcome the Nine of Cups, which is if you fill your cup with that, those beautiful, the waters that come from the higher realms, that come from the higher consciousness, that feels like there's a sense of your soul energy is guiding you here, and you fill your cup with those beautiful high spiritual clear waters, and fill your cup with the beautiful connections, forging beautiful connections around you, then all these cups get filled here and you get this sense of fulfillment with this beautiful Nine of Cups. It's very different energy to this, the Nine of Swords, of being in the dark, in a very fearful, anxious state, stressed out. So it really is this sense of purpose that can come through, or fulfillment that can come through, is through connections, groups, a sense of community, which feels really beautiful. And so that may be through talking, through learning, through understanding, through sharing the same belief systems or understanding philosophies or something like that can come through. And it's almost like I need to believe that there is something that is guiding me here. I need to trust my intuition when that happens. So it's not about being in your head and being over analytical, but really learning to trust that soul energy and where it's guiding you. So that's your reading, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm absolutely just love this star card, like the fact that all the water's going into the earth as well. So it feels very much like, it feels very nourishing. So it feels like whatever you do, because this is a pattern over the next 18 months, and you see this pattern of change happening here. And if you're a teacher, you're going to see big changes. Like it's teaching energy, but basically what they're saying is that the way you communicate, who you communicate to, and what you believe is shifting and changing. And if you go up to those beautiful sense of you're very clear on it in terms of your spiritual purpose and what you believe and what you want to connect to, then this can nourish you and create a beautiful place where new plans, new seeds can grow. This could actually work really well with the Capricornian energy of trusting the flow, trusting where you're being drawn. But this is actually going to help you on the material realm further down with longer term plans as well. So you could finding the clarity inside, spiritual clarity and peace and healing of the star, which brings with it compassion as well. Peace and compassion actually brings abundance to your world. So that is your reading. I almost called you Aquarius, Capricorn. I was thinking about the Aquarius relationship of the star, because that's an Aquarius type energy. And it is very much like you are working with the new earth consciousness, which is a very Aquarian type energy. So thank you so much, Capricorn. That is your reading. And speaking of new earth energy, you might like to check out my beautiful Goddess Codes course, because that is really wonderful in terms of getting out of that Nine of Swords and connecting up to the star, connecting up to that spiritual clarity, being able to clear out those waters. There's actually a group. You can do it one-on-one or within a group, so you can have this beautiful collective energy as well, which is that Three of Cups. So there's so much you can get out of this. It just connects you back to the light, a sense of purpose. You find out so much about yourself and your soul, and you feel really like a sense of rediscovery and connection. And it's just lighter. You feel lighter with that beautiful star card, and very fulfilling journey with this Nine of Cups. The sort of high-level information that you're going to get out of this course is extraordinary. Like, I don't know where else you get this, but it's a really amazing journey, and the people that are doing the course at the moment are having extraordinary experiences. So love it if you check that out. The link is in the description box below for the Goddess Codes course. It does start soon, at this early February, so get in now and check it out. And please like, subscribe, leave a comment, Capricorn. Love to find out what's going on for you, and yeah, notice this over the next 18 months, these changes. So for Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this energy of the karmic shifts and changes is happening in your money houses. Yes, we have the North Node moving through your second house, which is your money, which is fantastic. And we have the South Node moving through the 8th house, which is joint resources. So it's a little bit more than money, but it's about self-worth and value. With the North Node moving through your second house, you're going to learn so much about your value and your worthiness. This is where your soul is going, I need to learn this. I need to intuitively know that. And then that's going to be mirrored back in terms of seeing how much money you're earning, what your earning potential is, what is your belief system, your relationship to money. And ultimately, it wants your soul to find a way that you can bring in more money or work with that in a way that intuitively shifts and changes your money situation. So it's actually you're learning so much about that. So it's going to play out differently for all of you. Actually, the energy of the Virgo and Pisces energy doesn't have a lot to do with Aquarius, to be honest. So it might feel a little bit like, oh, these feel like they're a little bit outside the norm for me, or it might feel a little bit like, this is different in some way. We have the South Node moving through your 8th house of joint resources. So, and this is also can bring inheritance. That can happen. This is a pattern of change you're going to start seeing over the next 18 months. So this is where also it may be that you are letting go of something. Like the South Node is where you've learnt all the karma around that. You don't need it in your life anymore. You've also got gifts around that now. So this is the house where if there's something around a soul lesson around debt, say, or issue with tax, or issue with joint finances in some way, the South Node is about letting go of that, releasing that, saying, I don't need that karma in my life anymore. And the North Node saying, let's learn about your worthiness within that situation. And through that sense of you can learn more about how you can tap into the unlimited energy of your own worthiness, then your financial situation will change. You'll start seeing shifts and changes to this. Now, how on course you are with this and how well you go with the flow of these lessons will depend on how dramatic these are or not. But the 8th house is also the house of anything esoteric or taboo, or it's tarot fits in there, anything witchy, astrology. And so you might have gifts around that as well. Maybe you do have gifts of healing, or you have gifts of intuitively working with somebody's body and knowing what's going on in there. That might, your intuition, if you're working as a healer or a counselor or therapist or any kind of job that you do. And it may, instead of being kind of really over analytical about it, it's about just trusting that you already have learnt this and you've already mastered something, and to really trust your intuition with the direction that you're going in. So I feel like some of you who are healers definitely might be moving into that modality, shifting, like you might be earning money through doing that, or you might be shifting the way money is working for you and looking at belief systems around that as well. So this is also, the 8th house is also the house of psychology. So if you are a psychologist or a therapist or something like that, this is really good for feeling like in some way you've mastered the art of, you're in the process of mastery. No, I feel like I want to say you've mastered the art of something where you can almost go deep into somebody's psychology and just know. So yeah, it's interesting energy, but I feel like big shifts and changes coming through for you, Aquarius, in terms of finances, which could actually be really positive if you work with this well and go, okay, if something happens financially for me, like it could be big windfalls, big sums of money come through, or that you're learning something really important about your self-worth. And whatever this is, it really is about seeing it as a soul growth lesson, and how can you work with that, because it wants to bring you more of that. It wants to bring you more money. It wants to bring you more self-worth. It wants to bring you more, yeah, it's interesting. It's also the house, the North Node is in your 2nd house of possessions, but the Piscean energy isn't very possessive, interestingly. It's more, yeah, certain possessions or things, items that you might have around just might not resonate, or might not feel, it might feel like if there are things around you, like objects or furniture or possessions or jewelry or something like that, even relationship people are possessive of, it needs to have some kind of deeper spiritual meaning or purpose to it. Yeah, or it could be really creative as well. So it's a very creative energy, but it is about understanding the flow of money and how money flows in and flows out, and the actual nature of money and currency is what they're saying. So let's see what else is coming through. Let's pull some cards for Aquarius. We've got the Judgment card. So definitely the path is about cleaning and clearing out and reviewing what no longer works for you when it comes to shared resources, joint finances, and things like that. And your soul growth lesson is about success, learning about success in your life. What does success mean for you? And it also has a bit of shadow work about validation. So whether success is how seeking validation works in with what success means for you. And I feel like this is going to be in some way a path of wanting to, there's a lot of successful energy here of moving forward into a different direction, but it's going to require some effort. It's going to require a lot of effort, and it's going to require some clearing and cleaning out of old energy, old patterns, especially around those things like giving you, like things that are considered to be taboo, or things that are around the finances and money beliefs that are coming through. But we're seeing a really positive shift and change movement forward here with this Eight of Wands. They really want you to focus on that, and you can really shift and change a situation here. Some of you are going to be moving with the Chariot card. Some of you might be getting a new car as well. That's something that comes through. But the soul growth lesson is this Six of Wands, which is a very Leo-esque energy, which is your opposite sign. So it's very much a sense that this is the hero's welcome, being seen more, being appreciated more, receiving accolades, receiving rewards, having success. And so this is your soul growth lesson is, where are you not doing that, or where do you want to see yourself grow in that area of your life. So a very fabulous energy for being really successful and moving forward in terms of not only, like I see a lot of positive stuff with the wands can be career. It can also be just where you want to head, the direction you want to head in, overcoming obstacles. The Chariot and the Six of Wands are both cards of success, but it's very determined and it requires a lot of determination to bring in this success. But the Judgment card is saying you could actually make a big irrevocable change. There's no turning back after that. Like, don't want that pattern to ever happen again. I don't want that debt ever again. I don't want that tax issue ever again. I don't want that joint finance issue ever again. There's something here that is an ending that allows you to move forward in a really positive way, despite the fact that it is going to move you into success, even though it does bring, the Chariot is working hard, does require effort. There could be challenges around it, but the Eight of Wands is saying, yeah, all full steam ahead. Something gets the go ahead and something can move forward and obstacles can be removed. So like I said, this could be big windfalls, big sums of money coming to some of you, but your financial situation is going to shift and change quite dramatically in the next 18 months. So that's your reading, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Please check out my beautiful Goddess Codes course. It is starting at the beginning of February, and this is really fabulous in terms of finding the energy, the sense of determination, of stepping into success, and also finding your own sense of validation as well. The Judgment card helps you, the Goddess Codes course helps you clear out all this stuff that you need to clear out in the Judgment card. This is the South Node. All these energies are passing over. You've already learnt that. You don't need that anymore. You're moving into success. So the Goddess Codes course is really fabulous. Like, we're having such amazing experiences with the people that are in it at the moment, going through the course, because you find out so much about yourself on a really high soul level coming through. It's really fascinating. It connects you to your gifts. It connects you to your soul energy. More of that starts activating. And it's just this beautiful sense of getting to know yourself more and connecting to your light. And so we're seeing that you can activate that, move that forward, move into success with this. It's a beautiful energy to come through. So I'd love it if you check that course out. The link is in the description box below. And yeah, take care, Aquarius. So for Pisces and Pisces rising, this nodal shifts are happening to you, absolutely, and your opposite sign, Virgo. So you might find these karmic shifts and changes, this pattern that you might see happening over the next 18 months, very personal. It could be a very personal thing that's happening to you. Your soul is going, right, it's your turn, Pisces. Let's connect into the soul energy. Where are we going? And this is happening in your 1st and 7th houses. So this is your house of yourself, your body. So there might be things that shifts and changes happening around your body, about how you appear, how you're seen in the world, how you like to be seen in the world, and how you see the world. There could be something really shifting and changing around all of that. We also have the South Node moving in through your house of relationships. So it may be that certain patterns or certain relationships are no longer working for you or resonating for you anymore, and there needs to be changes. There's going to be karmic patterns, people coming in, people coming out, fated people, fated endings, fated new beginnings coming in on the relationship line as well. So these are usually one-on-one relationships that are coming through, and definitely feels like you are just learning so much about yourself. It's going to be mirrored back to you through relationships. So it may be that you're thinking about a shift or a change of identity in some way, and you're thinking about that, or that you somehow are saying goodbye to an old version of yourself. And it could be also that you're seeing the world in a very different way. You're starting to perceive things or just see things differently. So it's almost like you're seeing the world through a new lens. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. There could be changes coming in around your body, like your appearance, the way you look, the way you relate to your body. There's stuff coming in around that as well. So definitely feels like a very personal sense of a personal spiritual journey for you to come back to yourself in some way. And I feel like it's just a big shift. Like I feel like a huge shift. Really trust your intuition and get to know yourself a little bit more. They're just bringing in this energy of not only learning to trust your intuition, but be aware of where you want to escape. Okay, here we have a lot of relationship stuff. The Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay, you're opening your heart to love, but it's self-love as well. Self-love, self-forgiveness, being aware when you might go down the path of going into victim mode. That can come through as well. It's wanting to empower you and your heart's energy. And we've got the Strength card, yeah, being really brave at the end. And the Lovers card saying you are going to be given a series of choices that are coming through, or choices might be made, especially with around relationships. Absolutely, with the Two of Cups, this is the path. What is being mirrored back to you through relationships? A lot of karmic energy around that. So if something's happening within a relationship, maybe you've met somebody, or maybe you're breaking up with somebody, maybe you're having going through a tough time in a relationship, or maybe there's something really exciting going on for you, and if you have a partner, there's something that they're letting go of here, or they're experiencing a loss in some way. But either way, there's something being really mirrored back to you in terms of relationships, and it is all about you understanding yourself more. So the path is through love and relationships. That is the soul path that they're going to take you down. The soul growth lesson is this beautiful Ace of Cups, which is healing. It's new emotional beginnings, it's peace and healing, and it's learning to love yourself, learning to love again. It's a sense of, really learning to love through peace and healing. And so even though there's things that might be clouded and challenging around that on the human realm, it really is about coming back to your heart and understanding, why did that happen? Why did that person come into my life? Why did that person leave my life? Why did that person do that? Why have I got this relationship with this person? And how does that reflect back to my sense of loving myself and my capacity to be able to love and love others in the world? And ultimately, it's a huge heart healing that's coming through for you, Pisces, but it's, through the relationship line. So it could be a bit of an emotional energy as you're going through that. And we have as the outcome the Strength card. And interestingly, we see this sense of becoming really courageous and resilient, learning to trust yourself, learning to release ego and trust what is right for you on a deeper spiritual level. Yeah, that's what I get. Is there anything else for Pisces? They're just saying with this Lovers card that the angels are going to be around you, your guides are going to be around you, and the angels are going to bring you choices, or choices are going to come your way. For them, it's clear. For you down on earth, it's not clear. And so in a way, it's about finding the path through your heart to get out of the fog and go up to the divine and connect to the divine. And that's where you will understand why and how some things are happening to you. So if you are going down the path of, asking a lot of questions, why, or very much wanting to open your heart to a relationship, or that there's a big choice that's coming in around a relationship, it's really saying, go inward, listen to your heart, connect into your heart, be really honest with what your heart is saying. And it might be saying it's sad. It might be saying it doesn't like being treated this way. It might be saying it's feeling heartbroken. It might be telling you all these things. And just, it's about listening to that. And through that process of honoring what your heart is saying to you, you're opening up the channel to the divine. And ultimately the message of your heart is about love and self-love. So if the relationships that are being reflected back to you are not reflecting that back to you or supporting you in opening your heart to love, then the angels are going to bring you choices around it. So you're going to know who's right for you and who isn't. So that's your reading, Pisces. And they're just saying you've got a beautiful heart and the angels are around and giving you lots of love. And it is about you opening up to love, the love that you deserve. So that's your reading, Pisces. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling it in my heart chakra now. It's just a beautiful thing. And it's also saying not to put any limitations around your heart, to open your heart up to new possibilities. That's something that's coming in as well. So that's your reading, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. Pay attention to this pattern that's happening over the next 18 months. And what's being married back to you. Karmic shifts and changes, fated people coming in and out when it comes to relationships. So thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Check out my beautiful Goddess Codes course. It really helps with this heart healing and understanding the path to going up to the divine and connecting to the divine. It connects you to the divine. It connects you to your guides. It connects you to your soul. And you get so much high-level information about your journey, about who you are, and connects you to more parts of you, opens you up, and it's very beautiful for healing. There's a healing component of the journey as well. So love it if you come in. And we also have courage codes with the strength card, the courage to make these changes once we discover more about ourselves and learn so much about ourselves and what direction your soul wants you to go in. Then you need the courage to do that. And so all of that is actually in the Goddess Codes course as well. I have one-on-one and I have group sessions. Please check that out. The link is in the description box below. And take care, Pisces.